Deuteronomy was written by Moses on the plains of Moab in 1473 BCE, just before the Israelites entered the Promised Land. The name Deuteronomy means second law, or repetition of the law. However, the book is also an explanation of the law. Deuteronomy urges the Israelites to love and obey Jehovah in the land he is about to give them. The book consists primarily of 4 discourses, a song, and a blessing by Moses. In the first discourse, found in chapters 1 to 4, Moses reviews Israel's history after the Exodus and urges the people to remember what Jehovah has done for them. For example, Moses reminds them that Jehovah eliminated the faithless and cowardly generation that, 40 years earlier, feared the inhabitants of Canaan. In the second discourse, contained in chapters 5 to 26, Moses exhorts the people to obey God's commandments, not out of mere duty, but because they love Him with all their heart, soul, and strength. Did you know? In the ancient world, foreigners often had no legal rights, and widows and fatherless children faced many difficulties. In Israel, however, Jehovah's law applied to and benefited all, including foreigners, widows, and fatherless children. Jehovah loves these individuals, and His people should love them too. In chapter 7, Moses tells the Israelites that Jehovah will clear away the nations in the Promised Land, which are more populous and mightier than Israel. In chapter 8, Moses describes Israel's inheritance as a good land, with streams of water, wheat, barley, grapevines, fig trees, pomegranates, olive oil, and honey. But it is a land filled with false worship. So in chapter 12, the Israelites are commanded to pull down the altars to false gods, to shatter the sacred pillars, to burn the sacred poles, and to cut down the graven images. In chapter 16, Moses reminds God's people to celebrate the Passover, as well as the 3 great festivals: the Festival of Unleavened Bread, the Festival of Weeks, and the Festival of Booths. Chapter 18 contains a prophecy about a future great prophet. Moses says, "Jehovah your God will raise up for you from among your brothers a prophet like me. You must listen to him." The third discourse in chapters 27 and 28 sets out the cursings for disobedience and the blessings for obedience. After the nation crosses the Jordan River, the cursings are to be recited on Mount Ebal, where half of the tribes are to stand. The other tribes are to stand on Mount Gerizim and bless the people. Chapters 29 and 30 contain Moses' fourth discourse, in which he makes a covenant with the people, telling them to choose life by obeying Jehovah. In chapter 31, Jehovah commissions Joshua as Moses' successor. Joshua should be courageous and strong as he leads the nation into its God-given land. Chapter 32 records the Song of Moses, which powerfully extols God's faithfulness in contrast with the Israelites' unfaithfulness. In chapter 33, we read the blessing that Moses pronounced on the Israelites before his death. In the final chapter, Moses ascends Mount Nebo, where he is shown the Promised Land. Jehovah says, "I have let you see it with your own eyes, but you will not cross over there." Moses then dies at 120 years of age, and Jehovah buries him in a secret location in Moab. As you read the book of Deuteronomy, see how Jehovah blesses those who love him. Note how he withholds his blessing from those who disobey him. And discern how the principles behind God's law are reflected in the teachings of Jesus, the prophet like Moses, who is also the King of God's kingdom.